Hello everybody and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hit. My name is Jessica and today, yes you guessed it, we are at Too Fast, Too Furious. If you guys have watched my last video, you know that I'm going to be reviewing all of the Fast and the Furious movies in order because you know, Fate of the Furious happened. There's 8 of these films. So yesterday I did The Fast and the Furious Uno, and today we are doing Too Fast, Too Furious, one of the best goddamn sequels to an action driving movie ever. God, that just tasted weird in my mouth. And if you notice that I'm wearing the same stuff, it's because I'm lazy and I didn't want to change, and also I thought, you know, it's a metaphor. I am trying just as hard as this movie was trying. By that I mean, it wasn't. I will say it right here, out front, Too Fast and Too Furious is the worst in the franchise, and yes, I am counting Tokyo Drift. It's the worst, come on, Too Fast and Too Furious, really? The name itself is ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of hilarious at the same point. But really, you couldn't figure out a different name? I mean, this is the early 2000s, but it's not the 90s. Anyway, the plot of this movie, you know, I could barely tell you the plot of this movie because it's so stupid and so boring I could barely pay attention to it. I've seen it twice. And yes, I have seen this movie twice. I think I'm the only person in America who can say they've seen this movie twice. Let's be real, nobody watches Too Fast and Too Furious a second time. You watch it and you're done. So the plot, Brian, played by Paul Walker, is caught in the US Customs, I think, and they need him for a job in Miami. Even though he's technically like a dirty cop is what they would call him, they need Brian because he's the only person that can drive a car really well. And so somehow he agrees to it if they let all of his criminal charges drop, and he gets to choose his partner, you know, because that's a thing that would happen. So he chooses Tyrese, and this is America's introduction to Tyrese. I don't know if he was in the movie before this, but come on, that's probably the most high-profile thing that Tyrese has ever done. You know, it wasn't my introduction. My introduction to Tyrese was actually Transformers, so only slightly better. So Tyrese was just released, I don't even know, Roman is his character's name? Roman is just released from prison for something that he did, and so to be with his old childhood friend Brian, who he's kind of not liking anymore because Brian became a cop, you know, friendship goals. Anyway, they're kind of beefing in the whole first half of the movie. Like they're kind of getting along, but you know, Roman is just like, I really hate you, especially because considering when Brian goes to get Roman for this job, Roman like tackles him and is trying to beat him up. So you know, stuff went down, and really all it was that Brian joined the police force. So whatever, Roman. And somehow Roman gets the same deal as Brian did and gets all of his criminal charges dropped. Okay, so they go to Miami and they are just trying to become this drug lord, who I don't know the name of this guy is. The drug lord's drivers, basically. They're gonna be driving drugs everywhere or something like that, and they have to like compete for the job, and of course they get it. And while they're in Miami, they go to Tej Parker, played by Ludacris, and his little garage and his whole setup. He basically runs the racing crew stuff down in Miami, kind of like how Dominic Toretto did in LA in the first movie. And so they're this kind of like trio of guys that are kind of doing this, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, there's also Eva Mendes is in this. You know, she kind of takes that like girl slot, the tough girl slot that are in all of these movies, because you don't have Michelle Rodriguez and you don't have Jordana Brewster in this. Brewster. So Brian and Eva Mendes' character, I don't know her name either. They kind of have a thing going on. Whatever. They don't have any chemistry, so I don't care about them at all. I don't. Also, Team Mia. Even though I do like Eva Mendes a lot, actually. I do like her, and she was pretty good in the movie, but I just didn't think that they had enough chemistry, in my opinion. Also, I feel like their romance kind of diluted the first one, and that Brian gave everything away for Mia, really. Mia and her family that he came to love. And in the second one, which I don't think takes place that much longer after the Fast and the Furious, it's almost like, oh, throw that away, there's a new girl here, and I didn't really like that. And this was, of course, before the Fast and the Furious franchise was the family part of it that Vin Diesel is always talking about. So, you know, I can forgive them, I guess. Anyway, Eva Mendes is also an undercover agent, and she has been with this drug lord guy in Miami for a while, but the drug lord guy has made her, but she doesn't realize that she's made, and Brian thinks that she's made, but can't convince her or anybody else for some reason. Probably because, you know, the whole dirty cop. Hey, by the end of the movie, he stops everything. I think the drug lord gets arrested. Eva Mendes is good. She leaves to do her thing. There wasn't really much about that. And then they are pardoned of all of their crimes, and they decide, what are we gonna do with our life? And of course, they stole part of the money that they were transporting with all of the drugs. I think they were transporting drugs. I don't actually know in this movie. Anyway, literally, Brian and Roman stole some of the money, and you know that the US FBI agency, or whatever they were working with, I think it was the FBI, they're gonna know that they stole it. So it's like, that's more criminal charges to add to your now clean record. So it was just kind of a weird ending, I think. This movie is not good. I've already said that. I can't say it enough. It's not good. It's boring. And you know what? I'll tell you this. I lied yesterday and said that I watched them all in order last summer. No, I actually started with Too Fast and Too Furious. I was like, I'm gonna get into this. It was on Netflix. It was the only one. Number one was not on there, and so I clicked it, I watched it, and I kept going in the entire movie. I'm like, when does Vin Diesel show up? Like, seriously? I picked the only Fast and Furious movie with no Vin Diesel in it. Like, my luck, right? Yeah, so no Vin Diesel in this movie. I was really depressed about it, but you know what? He's in the rest of them, I guess. I thought he was in all of them. I didn't know. I didn't know that he decided not to be in the second one because he decided to do XXX, the Xander Cage movie thing that he did that no one saw but somehow got a sequel with Ice Cube, and then another reboot this year. Probably gonna get another one of those movies too, because Vin Diesel is apparently like a big worldwide star, and the movies he's in make a crap ton of money overseas. I'm kidding, I love Vin Diesel. I'm not gonna lie. This movie kind of had me in two different places. On the one hand, I never wanted to watch another Fast and the Furious movie because it was that bad. On the other hand, it almost made me want to watch the other Fast and the Furious movies to be like, they can't all be this bad. Why do we have 8 of them, you know? So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Too Fast and Too Furious. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, give it a thumbs up if you did like this video or the movie, and comment down below, what did you guys think of Too Fast and Too Furious? Is this one of those movies that like people have a soft spot in their heart for? Because I have a soft spot in my heart for certain movies, the Mighty Ducks trilogy being them, because I love those so much. Those are good movies, don't even find me on that. Anyway, is this a movie, is this kind of like your hall pass of a movie that's really bad but you say it's good? Let me know down below. Also subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my Fast and Furious content. Why would you want to? Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow with Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.